Hello, I'm Jamila O. Edwards. I'm a climate fiction writer, wife, and homeschool mom. Welcome to episode 2 of Slow Living Chronicles podcast, a monthly podcast about slow living and living in tune with Earth cycles while living in the city. Okay, y'all, I am back. It's been a good 3 or 4 months since my last post, and I really thought that I would be posting consistently, but life had other plans. In a lot of ways, things have changed, and yet much has changed at all. First up, the podcast name has changed from Earth Trial to Slow Living Chronicles. The content will be the same, but I changed the name simply to be more cohesive. All my content is published under Slow Living Chronicles. I'm on YouTube and Substack and podcasting apps, and it just makes sense for everything to be under the same name, even though I love the name Earth's Child. Slow Living Chronicles just better encompasses all the things that I talk about across platforms. So instead of having two separate names, it just made more sense to have the same name for the podcast. Again, though, the content is not changing. So if you're listening to this for the first time, you may notice that episode 1 is still under the name Earth's Child, but everything in there still applies. So, with that being said, life has been wildly stressful over the past couple months in the sense that my dad has retired from a 34-year-long teaching career, and I was helping plan his party, which was fun but a lot of work. And he recently had a heart attack. So, helping support my family through that. Thank God he's had bypass surgery and he is at home now recovering and he is going to be okay. My husband has been in a particularly difficult semester at school, though he's finished with the semester now and he did very well in his classes, thankfully. But it just was a very stressful time for him trying to complete his assignments and the workload that he was under. And we've been traveling out of town to check in on extended family. And don't even get me started on homeschool. It's been a complete clusterfuck. So that doesn't even begin to cover what has been going on around the world and in the United States. That's where I live. We're now at war and things are just crazy. And no, I mean, we're not okay, but yes, we are doing fine and we're managing. And we're just taking things one step at a time because what else can you do, right? Yeah, it's a lot. I know everyone is feeling the tension across the world, and it's not just me. It's not just you. If you're feeling it too, it's not just you. We're all feeling it. So, where are we now? Like I said, my dad is recovering, and my husband took a semester off from school. Our homeschool co op is now off for summer break, so we have a moment to take a deep breath and reset. And I'm hoping that we'll be getting into the groove for homeschool. And yes, because we do homeschool year round, and I'm working on getting our garden together. And summer is just this fun and magical time for us. And I'm really excited to be leaning into summer. At the time of this recording, we are in the last week of May, and June is where we really start feeling that summer energy. So that brings me into our forecast for June. So we have a new moon coming up on June 15th. The summer solstice is Sunday, June 21st. Then we have a full moon, June 29th. And June 29th through July 23rd, y'all, is Mercury Retrograde in Cancer. So we have a lot of energy that we're working with this month of June. And let's start with the new moon. I know the new moon is a great time to just take a deep breath, quiet down, sit with our inner self, and really take a moment to reflect on where we are. Uh, where are our hopes and dreams? What are we trying to work on or manifest? What is it that we're asking spirit for? What is it that we need a little more clarity on? what seeds can be planted if we're thinking of the month as a planting season? What seeds can be planted in in the new moon to see manifestation in the full moon time? I like to think of it that way, but at the same time, it's rare that I work on anything for one moon cycle. I mean, that's only a couple of weeks, and all of the things that I'm working on tend to take a much longer time to see fruition. But that is the general energy of the new moon. And then we have the summer solstice on June 21st. And that is the time to celebrate the longest day of the year. So in some traditions, that is the mark of official summer. In some traditions, technically it's midsummer. So it really, for me, I feel both of that energy. For me, the end of May, beginning of June is transitioning energy from spring to summer. And I really, really feel that. Here in Northeast Ohio, we're up by the lake and it's starting to get really warm and more consistently nice weather. The rainy season is kind of finishing up, the heat is coming out, and kids are getting off of school and the community is starting to put out their dates for the summer stuff going on. So I'm looking at my calendar. Okay, what are we doing? What's our homeschool routine going to be looking like for summer? How can we incorporate the different things that are going on in our community and work that into our curriculum? So I'm really excited for that. Then we have the full moon coming up on June 29th. And the full moon is that time where whatever you've been working on since the new moon, you're going to start seeing some blossoms, some fruition. Like I said, for me, I don't necessarily manifest that way, but that is the energy that we're experiencing around the full moon time. And for me, I tend to get tired around the full moon. I do like to spend some time reflecting around the new moon, and then the full moon, the energy is just so heightened that it leaves me feeling a little exhausted, and I tend to want to take a bit of a break around that time. I know we have these things for, these guidelines that we learn of what is this and what is that and what is the energy and what does it mean. But I think it's really important to just take a minute and reflect on how you feel. And if it's consistent, then just honor that. And for me, the full moon is a time that I get a little bit tired. And then what's interesting about this full moon is on the 29th, but Mercury retrograde starts on the 29th. And I feel like Mercury retrograde gets a bad rap, and I get that, but I like to think of it like if you have a rubber band, gonna use my bracelet if you're watching. And if you pull it back, the retrograde time is like slowing down and being pulled backwards. So a lot of times if you feel like whatever it is that you're working on, if you feel like you're taking one step forward to take three steps back, that's the Mercury retrograde time. But then at the end of it, you shoot forward, and it's a good time to slow down, seek clarity, and get ready to move with better understanding than you had before. So, for example, with homeschool, I am in the process of evaluating what went right in the spring. We just started a new curriculum that I really, really like, but consistency was difficult for us. So, why was it difficult for us? And what can I do moving forward to kind of like make things work? So, if I'm thinking about that at the beginning of June, and I might start feeling like around the summer solstice, okay, I'm getting a hang of this. We're having some good days, some good weeks. And then around the full moon, I'm tired. I am a little cranky. And then all of a sudden it feels like we're just not in alignment with each other anymore. Like we're just not on the same page as a family because of that Mercury retrograde energy. It's going to feel like, whoa, I was doing so well for those 2 weeks and now I have no idea what's going on. But instead of, and I'm only human, instead of beating myself up over it, I know ahead of time that that's kind of the energy that I'm going to be working with. And instead of fighting it, it's a good time for me to think, okay, I'm going to get ready to be moving with more clarity coming mid July. This is a good time for me to be taking notes. This is a good time for me to be listening to my children. This is a good time to really be focused on going with the flow. This is a good time to be paying attention to, okay, this part of the curriculum is working for us and this other part of the curriculum is really not. Or getting up at this time is working, and trying to force us to get up 2 hours earlier, that just isn't making any sense and it's making everybody cranky. During that time, it's a great time for me to, instead of forcing a routine, to move with the flow of things, take notes, and be prepared mid July to be like, okay, I know this is where we're at, and move forward with more clarity. So, what does that mean for my family and me? And what does slow living look like as we enter summer? Which I'm just gonna scoot my leg out here. For summer, summer energy is fast, it's high, we're moving around, we're doing our schoolwork, but we're going on field trips, we're seeing family, we're traveling, we are going on adventures, and we're outside and we're in the sun. And what does slow living even look like for us as we enter that season? And for me right now, the biggest part of slow living is releasing the need to control so that I can have a better time moving into alignment with divine timing. And that is hard for me because I am a complete control freak. I am that person that has lists on lists, that wants to have a schedule for every single hour of the day, a routine that says we're going to do things in this order. And it doesn't work for us when I do that. It doesn't work. We are a neurodivergent family. We need to operate differently. And so I have really, really, really been working hard to release control. I'm using smaller pockets of time to be productive or do schoolwork, and letting go of the expectation of how the house should look and what time of day I'm working on certain things or how I'm getting things done. And I'm trying to really remember that it does not have to be all or nothing. And I think that is one of the lessons that has been so hard for me to learn, is it does not have to be all or nothing. Even with this podcast, I avoided recording for so long because I didn't have the proper space. I'm like, my kids are always so loud in the background. My mic picks up everything. And today I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go up to my room and sit in this little corner and get it done. And my kids are downstairs. They're playing video games and watching TV. And I'm in this little corner of the room instead of in my office, and it's fine. I'm getting it done. And I'm hoping that I can keep up with that energy. This also looks like leaving the dishes from breakfast in the sink to do 15 or 20 minutes of focused lessons with my youngest children, instead of feeling like I have to have the kitchen completely clean before moving on to the next thing. Or working out whenever I have a break in the day instead of having to do it in the morning when the kids are asleep in the living room, because who cares where I do it at? I can sneak into my office and do it so that they can watch TV or eat breakfast or whatever while I'm working out, and that's fine. walking on the treadmill and doing computer work while my 11-year-old is listening to his audiobook, editing videos while I'm sitting in the sun as my kids play with the water hose in the backyard, or listening to my entrepreneurship course while cooking dinner so that my business plan can be finished by the end of the summer. So it's a lot of less is more, and done imperfectly is better than not done at all. And that's the energy that I'm bringing in for June. I also see that my computer is going to die. So this might be a shorter episode. I'm going to really try to get this done. And I'm hoping that if I can continue working like this, I can start updating the podcast more often, because I would really like to see this going from a monthly podcast to like bi-monthly or every other week, like do a reflection mid-month. So we'll see. But I'm going to work on this card pull, which is nice because it's been a while. Okay. And if you're unfamiliar with this deck, this is the Comfy Cozy Witches Oracle deck, which I'm obsessed with this deck. I love her podcast and I love her deck. And she actually just came out with a really good podcast episode about returning to your practice, which was so needed for me because I'm trying to get reacquainted with my practice too. Okay. I always pull 3 cards. I don't know if I'm gonna have time for 3. Hopefully my computer doesn't die. Okay, so the first one, spring equinox, which I think is interesting because we're moving from spring energy into summer, newness and fertility. Okay, spring equinox, newness and fertility. I embrace new ideas and opportunities. The spring equinox card has arrived, and with it, a time of newness and fertility. As the earth awakens and life around you begins to bloom, so too does your potential. This is a moment to plant seeds of intention, nurturing them with care. Embrace the fertile energy that vibrates all around you and allow it to inspire fresh beginnings and creativity. The balance of light and dark offers you the perfect opportunity to start anew. So, embrace the possibilities that are sure to come. If you've been on the fence about starting a new venture, taking that leap of faith, or reaching out to a certain person, now is the time to go for it. Prompts are: what seeds of intention do I wish to plant? What steps do I need to take to nurture these intentions to come to fruition? And I think this is so on energy with where I'm at right now, because I haven't done this podcast in so long and I'm like, okay, I need to get back to it. Also, I'm just kind of like rebranding and rededicating myself to my work. And then there's some other things going on behind the scenes that I'm not quite ready to share yet that have been a huge leap of faith for me to commit to doing right now. So this card is right where I am right now. So I hope that resonates for any of you. Okay, the next one is fire, which makes so much sense. Creativity and strength as we're moving into the summer. Fire, creativity and strength. I tap into my creative powers. The fire card is here to remind you that you have all the tools you need to move forward. Fire ignites your inner creativity and fuels your strength. This is the time to harness your passions and let them blaze brightly. Fire is both a spark of inspiration and a force of transformation. Embrace it with confidence. Know that at this time your creative power knows no bounds, but with power comes responsibility. So channel your strength wisely and use it to bring warmth and growth, not destruction. If you've been contemplating starting a new project or taking a risk, fire is here to tell you now is the time. Within the flames of creativity lie the momentum and strength to shape and forge ahead. And the prompt is: what drives or motivates me to create? And those 2 cards go hand in hand. Perfect. Amazing. So It sounds like it's not just me. If you guys, if this resonates with you, you also have ideas going on, things that you're ready to implement. Now is the time to do it. And do not get discouraged by Mercury retrograde. Instead, use that energy to gain more clarity about what it is that you're working on so you can come in strong in July. Okay, I'm going to hurry up now and try to get this last card before my computer dies. Okay, squirrel. Preparation, determination. Oh my gosh, what did I just say? Preparation, determination. I am ready to achieve my goals with confidence and perseverance. The diminutive, I'm sorry guys, I'm struggling, and dogged squirrel arrives with a message of careful preparation and steadfast determination, especially in the face of adversity. The squirrel card encourages you to focus on your goals and gather the resources you need for the future. Like the squirrel gathering and storing acorns, your efforts now will pay off when challenges arise. This is a message to plan and plot, not procrastinate. If there's a project on the horizon, now is the time to begin. The foundation of success is found through preparedness and determination. Trust that your efforts and readiness will pay off in the end if you start now. Slow and steady wins the race. Small, consistent steps will lead to lasting success, so prepare now. The prompt, what small steps can I take now to grow my magical practice? How has procrastination hurt me in the past? Listen, y'all. If it's not clear enough, whatever it is that you're waiting to do it. Stop waiting. Do not procrastinate. Get it done now. Doing it in small chunks and being consistent is better than perfection. And my computer is going to die. So I'm going to log off and I will see you guys soon. Hopefully, I will be posting twice a month. Thank you for listening in. Listen to episode 1. Like and subscribe wherever you are. And follow me on YouTube and Substack, Slow Living Chronicles. Thank you for supporting, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you again soon.